Baseball sounds like fun. And you know what, Tom? We've got 3 pairs of tickets
Oh,
to go see Turnpike Troubadours. That
oh,
comes up
really?
at the AMP in October. Yes, those
Okay.
are considered win them before you can buy them.
Yeah, right. That's fantastic. I've
Yeah.
never seen them before, but
I have not either.
I've heard of
And
them. Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you like good musicians, they
Yeah,
are phenomenal. And
yeah.
listening to all their songs, they are so good. So, yeah, we've got 3 pairs to give away. So that'll be fun. And we'll keep you up to date with that Nationals Cubs baseball game that Taylor Doll is
Will we?
taking in today. Sure, why
Are we
not?
gonna have a TV on? What usually the TV's on with the
Yeah, it
ball
doesn't.
games and
First pitch
everything.
is not until 2:20. We got
Okay, we
plenty
got
of
time. We're
time.
just warming up.
Exactly. But yeah, we've got the 3 pairs. Not yet. You cannot win them yet, but we'll certainly, when we play the music,
Yeah,
as you know, Brooks Beats, then you hear the song and be the right color, you will win the tickets.
beautiful.
All right. So Matt Hayes wrote a great article that I mentioned briefly to y'all
Yeah.
yesterday on DJ Lagway. He went to Texas last week to Waco and met with DJ, talked with as well as Billy Napier and Dave Aranda, the current Baylor head coach, obviously Napier, the former Florida head coach. And it details what Lagway kind of went through. And obviously now people, Tom, are kind of more making fun of DJ
Yeah.
in the sense that he didn't just live a normal college life, go to classes, deal with the fame,
Yeah.
be friends with his teammates, all that kind of stuff.
Well, when you said it yesterday, I kind of like giggled at the he couldn't go to class.
Right.
Like you get mobbed going to class. It just seems so weird. Look, I equate it to like I remember back when my single friends playing that were on the team. Right, we'd go out, and like Hardy was a big time star. This was before he got married. Bees and those kind of guys, but they were just, they weren't rah-rah. They were just laid back, kind of chill guys. So we could go out. We could do anything. We go to restaurants. People say hi and whatnot. Of course, shake hands, maybe an autograph or whatever, but nothing like mobbed. Right now, if you're Brunel, you're Baselli, you're not going to ragtime on a Friday night. You know what I mean? They'd be all over you. You wouldn't even have a good time. So it's just that I understand. It just blows my mind that college kids would just be, swarming a star player. I get it, but it just seems so odd that he couldn't go to class.
Unless they were throwing insults at him, and that bothered him.
Well, you know what? And
I wasn't
and then my second thought is, okay, so that's going on. And I know Napier gets a bad rap. I don't know what he did in this. I didn't read the whole thing, but hey, coach, I'm having issues, man. I can't go to class. Like, I just signed up here. I want to go to class. I want to be a part of it. And I can't get there. Well, we'll have to make some kind of
I can't get there in my
things.
Lamborghini or my Mercedes
Yeah,
because
right.
I'm getting so much NIL money.
Yeah, well, that's the game. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he should carry around hundreds and give them out to the kids. Well, it's just so he can get through the crowd. I have no idea. But it just seemed like this is the world now. That just seems out of this world that a college kid, no matter how popular you are, like Tim Tebow, could he, maybe he didn't have to go to class, but
No, he did. He went to class.
could he go to class
I had
even as a
friends with classes
Heisman
with
Trophy?
him. Yeah.
Right. So he can, you know what I mean? It's just today's different.
Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't, I guess, sat down with him and asked him, were you able to go to class? But
Yeah,
you would
right.
think that,
You would think he'd be mobbed.
Yeah.
Right, which is crazy. It just seems crazy to me. So anyway, that was going on. It's just another little bit of a failure of like, hey man, if you know this, because somebody had to know, like somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like
But
he's not
online-
in class. Like
he's taking
GAs typically
online
find that out.
classes. Like,
Yeah.
So you can get your college degree, obviously, completely online these days.
Yeah.
So maybe it was partially he was getting mobbed, but also partially his choice to take classes online.
I just come from the thinking the head coach is supposed to know everything about the players. Like if he's
Especially the
not
star quarterback.
if he's not hanging out with his teammates, like there should be somehow a communication, and he finds out about it. And he goes to him like, hey man, what's going on? Why don't you?
Right.
Well, coach, I got this, I got that. Okay, well let me try to fix that or help you with it. Throw a bodyguard or two on him. Who cares? I mean, if that's the extreme, that's the extreme. If I can't go to class, not that all of them want to go to class, but it sounded like he did. I wouldn't, but he did. He can't get there. So that just seems crazy. I've never been that, so I don't know what that feels like. I don't know that fame kind of stuff feels like and that high of a regard, you know what I mean? But look, I'm glad he's trying to fit in, trying to go and look, I always say this, the truth's in the middle. It always takes two to tango, so maybe he could do things differently or better, and maybe obviously the other side can as well, but
people
yeah,
are still going to blame Napier, obviously, for mishandling the quarterback, whether it was the injuries that he wasn't transparent about back last spring when
yeah,
DJ wasn't throwing the football. And then in the article, DJ told Matt Hayes that he didn't throw until week 1, the game week. Like,
right,
how do you not have a different quarterback ready if your quarterback hasn't thrown
right,
the football in that many months?
correct,
And, we went to the spring game last year, my family and I did. And we knew DJ Lagway wasn't going to be throwing in the actual spring game, but we thought maybe off to the side. He didn't throw a single pass.
right. I remember
so
that.
that's a massive red flag at that point in time. But it just seems like the whole Florida experiment didn't work for DJ, didn't work for so many reasons, a myriad of reasons. But yes, he's getting a fresh start. But I can understand if you're reading that article and thinking, this kid sure didn't give the effort of someone who's taking $3 million.
Well, and that's the other side of it, right? Like, is it exaggerated a little bit because it just makes the story better for him? You know what I mean? Like, was it that bad? Like, I don't know. I wasn't there. I just think it's wild. And then if the coach knows everything, you know what GAs are for, graduate assistants are for. They're moles for the coach. They're the ones that do the dirty work, right? They go see who's in class. They take attendance sometimes. They're figuring out who's going out to the bars, who's getting in trouble, who's not getting in trouble, who's a good kid, who's getting in fight. They know all that stuff because that's the job of the head coach. He's got to know all those things. So I was surprised that a guy like at that high level of Division I football, even as not a good coach as he was, he'd have a better handle on what's going on with his star, 5-star, everyone's star QB.
Yeah, he had so many staff members, right? Like that was the joke when he first got to Florida. There was a picture with like 100 different people on the staff. So you've got plenty of people to be able to figure this kind of stuff out. But I think DJ has a ton of talent and he seems like a great kid. I don't know about the depression, the self-isolation that he went through. That was honestly news to me. We could just tell on the football field that things were not the way that we thought they would be after his rookie season, after his freshman season.
So I guess
he looked like a stud his freshman season.
Right, absolutely. So I guess going to practice, you drive, so you don't have to worry about it. Is that the difference?
But it sounds like at practice,
how did he get to practice without being mobbed, or was he being mobbed at practice?
No, I don't think he was being mobbed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so why did he just get in his car? But it
sounds like he wasn't really around his teammates that often when he was at practice, probably because he was off to the side, still rehabbing and things like that. And so that's obviously also where we talk about for the Jaguars last year, their chemistry was off. Yep. Think if Trevor had not thrown a single pass to any of those guys until week 1.
Oh, right.
When the Jaguars were about to play the Panthers.
Timing, chemistry's all
of that. And so no wonder now looking back, your quarterback wasn't healthy, but he also wasn't bonding with his teammates. And that to me is a massive part of being a quarterback at a Division I school, a Power 4 school, and a quarterback who's taking that much money. That's the other part of this. Why was there not this level of accountability for DJ Lagway?
Well, and what do the teammates say? What would they say about DJ Lagway as a guy? Like, would they be like, he was kind of like a hermit, like he didn't really. We had guys like that. They just, they stayed in their room.
But they weren't their quarterback, right?
Of course, right. I mean, the quarterback's got to have some rapport with his guys. There's no doubt about it. He's got to be one of the guys, A lot of times, though, I think in college, when you have such a super, quote-unquote, star QB, he's a little bit up in the clouds, you know what I mean, and not one of the guys. It takes a special guy to come down and be one of the guys in that regard. Maybe he just wasn't that. But at the end of the day, I mean, someone somewhere in the program should have helped him and the situation out, and maybe things would have been better. I mean, the depression, look, you stay in a room and you get depressed. You get in a rut and you don't change things. You can get depressed. There's
especially
no
when
doubt
your
about
family's in Texas.
Yeah,
and here you
can
are.
happen, man.
Yeah, without a lot of family in Jacksonville.
Now, what's the caveat, though? You already said it. You're getting paid. So, suck it up and take care of business. You need protection.
Or give the money back.
You need protection. Go to the coach. Go, hey, coach, I need some protection. I'd be happy to get it.
I feel like the not being able to go to class part of it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Like, I took online classes in school, not obviously because I was getting mobbed going to class, but I took online classes for several semesters without going into any classroom when I was in Florida. I loved it because I could hit pause, and if my brain started to wander off, I could just go right back and rewind it, and I could watch the classes multiple times if need be. Yeah. So I enjoyed that part of things, but I also that was my choice. I didn't enjoy going to the classroom just because why would I sit in a classroom full of people that are half paying attention when I can do it all at home?
Yeah. No, I get it. Listen, I didn't have online choices back then, but they had night college. So I was enrolled in the night school, which was great because one class once a week. It was 3 hours long. That's all you had to take. And I would take like 3 or 4 of them, and I'd leave at halftime of each one.
Halftime? There's no halftime.
Oh, no. When there was a break, the second the professor's like, hey, let's take a 10-minute time out, I'm like, see you later. I'm out of here. I learned enough for the evening. But yeah,
why does that surprise?
Even my dad was like, you're not at BC. You're in their night college. It's not even the same thing.
Exactly.
It's like, don't worry about it, Dad. But yeah, I get that. I take online or whatnot. I think the teammate thing is why was there a disconnect? And look, again.
And he lived off campus too, which you can live on or off campus.
Himself.
But yeah, I'm assuming by himself. Yeah, because he could afford to. That's the other thing. Most college students can't afford to live alone.
But typically, like, you befriend your tight end, like, hey, man, move in with me. You know what I mean? Or you befriend your left tackle. You're like, hey, man, you need a place to stay. Just live with me. I don't care.
And I always liked living on campus. When I did live off campus, I didn't like it as much because it doesn't have the same, the feel. University vibe to it. Yeah. But I told you yesterday, he decided to take several teammates to Miami.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
you said that.
And have like a whole bonding experience, private chef, recovery, and throw with them and stuff like that.
That's part of an investment you need to make with your teammates now that you have the money, and that's all going to come back to just better your situation. Listen, we've talked about it before. When you get that feeling, I was talking about Cheever and Bees, and you get that feeling of true love. Like, man, you can't wait to go out there on the field with your teammates and go get the opponent. When you have those guys,
absolutely,
backing you up and being a part of it, and it's all genuine. So. Yeah, look, I got no ill will against the kid. I'm sure Gator fans like, yeah, whatever, baby, get out of here, go to Baylor and cry. I might be one of those if I was a Gator fan, but the other side of it sounded like things were happening. And again, the school, or at least the coach, the head coach, he's got to have a handle on that kind of stuff and try to be that buffer and figure out how can I make this, all a better, better situation. Remember when who was it? Who was the coach that? Oh, it was the former Bear linebacker, Ron Rivera. Guy got in a fight in practice. And he just pulled him aside, sat him down, and he learns that I forget what player it was. He lost his cousin or something like the night before. Just that's a little easier because right in front of you. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's what a head coach does. You got to go to every player and be like, hey, everything okay? What can I do? Do you need some help? What's going on? You can't rely on especially at that age, them coming to you. Maybe it's too big. They don't think they can come to you. You got to go to them and make sure.
Or they're going to feel like they're perceived as weak. And we talked about it with the NFL draft. Some general managers don't want to draft a player that has any sort of mental health issue past because they're afraid that that's going to, end up hurting them or affecting them when they're in the NFL. And so they perceive that as weak. And players are saying, AJ Green wrote that beautiful article. I don't know if you saw it, penned that piece on Rondale Moore in tribute to him. It was fantastic. And basically it was like, we need to make mental health a much wider scoped thing so that way these players don't feel like they can't say something.
Yeah, exactly. Again, that's where you try to get to each player.
Right.
Try to figure it out. It's easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. But you as a head coach, that's part of the gig. Like, you because here's the thing. If they know you really care about them, they're going to love you forever, and they're going to do whatever you want, in a positive way, a positive way of thinking, because we got your back, you got our back, you love us, we love you. Like, it's a very powerful thing when you can get to that.
Absolutely. We'll keep the college football conversation. We'll get into some Jaguars a little bit later, but I'm going to talk about FSU football on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Who's right?
Well, that'll be me.
Who's loudest?
Hello?
Who cares? It's great radio. Fill up a plate with Joe, Matt, and Leon.
XL Prime Time.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
That's the buzzer. And on Hard Rock Bet, buzzer beaters mean bonus bets.
Every time a team you bet to win or cover hits a game-winning buzzer beater, you score a $25 bonus bet, an extra $25 on top of your winnings. Just opt in and bet $5 on any team. As many teams as you want, all tourney. Win bonus bets at the buzzer, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
World-renowned chef, humanitarian, and founder of World Central Kitchen, Jose Andres, is coming to the Florida Forum March 31st. For your chance to win tickets, text FORUM to the text line covered by Lifetime Flooring at 641-1010.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Have you been thinking about selling your home and you haven't pulled the trigger? Let me tell you about Chad and Sandy and the experts that will help you make that decision. Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building, so now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Need to sell now, need to sell fast, need max price. Check, check, check. Chad and Sandy have the science behind it. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jonathan writes from Mount Pleasant. The only thing standing between me and my dream of hitting the road in my RV was selling my Mount Pleasant home. After hearing Chad and Sandy on the radio, I gave them a call. The results were unreal. In just 3 days, I had multiple offers at full asking price. So can you. Call the local experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200, or ChadAndSandy.com.
Spring cleaning's good, but there is something even better. Spring cleaning and spring organizing. This is Lauren Brooks, and I just love our organized closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, storage for every space and budget. Make an appointment today to tour their beautiful showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off free installation and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation today, 904-878-9393, or online, closetsbydesign.com.
Budweiser reminds us to drink wiser, like hydrating between beers. It keeps the fun going longer, and it's a commitment to responsibility. Remember, good times are ahead, so no need to overdo it. Know when to say when, and always designate a driver.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Well, I'm gonna pick up some of these empties, Lord, as soon as I find where they lay. Side off them jolly and leaving mines on a long, hot summer day.
If you've never heard of Turnpike Troubadours, but you've watched Landman, this song may sound familiar. Long, hot summer day. That's because several of Turnpike Troubadours songs were featured in the hit show Landman. If you want to go see Turnpike Troubadours at the AMP in St. Augustine on October 24th, which is a Saturday, you can win those tickets before you can even buy them right here, right now. Be caller number 3-641-1010 and caller number 3-641-1010. The tickets will go on sale tomorrow on livenation.com. Like I said at the top, such good musicians.
Yeah.
This show is going to be so much fun.
I saw today where Billy Bob Thornton's band is going to be at the Ponte Vedra Concert Hall in July.
Nice.
I didn't know he had a band.
I didn't either.
I knew Costner had a band because
they're all trying to copy you.
Chris Rolandelli, he's a good friend. He's their road manager. He's on the road with them all the time. See him on Facebook going, "I'm a really good guy." But I knew Costner had a band, but I didn't know Billy Bob Thornton had one.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He seems to be a pretty eclectic guy.
Yeah, pretty talented. A lot of those guys, like Keanu Reeves plays in a band. You know, Johnny Depp can play guitar.
I knew a lot of the actresses could sing.
Yeah.
And some actors, too,
Triple
obviously.
threat.
Must be nice.
I guess. But that'll be fun. The Amp's awesome. I mean, there's not...
The AMP is, I always tell people, it's my favorite venue on the First Coast.
Yeah.
Because
for sure on the First Coast.
Yeah. They're just I'm not going to compare it to like Red Rocks in Denver or what have you. But around these parts, we have a lot of great venues. The Florida Theater is also wonderful.
Yeah, heck yeah.
But what I love about the AMP is you pull onto, if you're parking, I guess, there. Otherwise, you're walking there or taking a shuttle. But because of the limited parking. But once you get to the AMP, the oak trees, those live oak trees and the moss, the Spanish moss hanging down. And then there's a breeze no matter where you are. Even if you're in the pit, you can still feel a breeze because it's right there. You couldn't even tell you're on the ocean basically, but it's right there on Anastasia Island and the ocean is just over yonder.
Yeah. And the sound is perfect. We saw Train down here. You ever see Train live?
I have not.
Oh, man, he was incredible.
I've heard
he did Led Zeppelin as a cover. It was just unreal. He was really fun, but the sound in the amp is just outstanding.
Perfection.
Yeah,
yeah,
no doubt about it.
Yeah, and I've stood in the pit, and then I've been as high as the 300s, and I'm always somewhere usually like 100s or 200s.
Yeah,
but I've done both, like I said, pit, and then all the way to 300s. Doesn't matter. Perfect acoustics, no matter where you are.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, Turnpike Troubadours, win them before you can buy them. Tickets do go on sale tomorrow. LiveNation.com. All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
All right, Tom, this is not in any way, shape, or form anti-FSU. This is not. This is me strictly looking at the schedule for this upcoming football season. And I went through the schedule with one Jacob Simons, who is an FSU fan, and also Trent Osborne, who is not an FSU fan, but a diehard college football fan.
This is a genuine analysis.
I went through the schedule, and then I talked to both of them, and I wanted to get their thoughts, and we all kind of landed in the same place.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through it. Obviously, last year, Florida State Seminoles 5-7 overall, 2-6 in the ACC.
Ouch.
Your guy was the quarterback.
Yeah.
The former Boston College player.
I told you. He was all right. He made some throws. He made some plays.
Thomas Castellanos was not the full reason that FSU was 5-7.
Not. But he wasn't what everyone thought. Oh, this kid. I was like, no. I'm telling you, I watched him for 2 years at BC. Right. He was okay at times. He was really bad at times. And overall, he was just, all
And
right.
I think it'll be interesting now that Mike Norvell is calling the plays once again. He had Gus Malzahn as the offensive coordinator and play caller. And then Malzahn retired, which was very interesting because rumors got out that Norvell was interested in talking to other people to be the offensive coordinator while Malzahn was still hired, was still had that job. And so I'm sure that there was a little bit of like hey, what exactly is going on behind my back?
Well, you got a one or two, did Malzahn, like who's the quarterback you like? I like the kid from BC. I think he'd fit into my offense great. I don't know if it went down like that, but it could have went down like that. And if it did, then, both of them got to go. It's time to go, I mean, listen, his seat is so hot. I mean, it is. So he's got to do anything and everything to try to turn this thing around for the Seminoles and for his job for the most part.
Right. And then, of course, you have Ashton Daniels. That's who came in as the quarterback from the transfer portal. Yep. And
from Tech, right?
He came from Auburn.
Auburn. I'm sorry. I got the two mixed up. Yep.
Florida's guy, Aaron Philo, came from Georgia Tech.
That's
so people thought that Ashton Daniels and Malzahn would be a really good fit, mobile quarterback. And I want to say they had spent some time together at UCF. But either way, Malzahn is gone. Ashton Daniels is the starting quarterback. But once again, FSU 5-7 last season. All right. So to start things off, New Mexico State comes to Tallahassee. That game Saturday, August 29th. New Mexico State last season 4-8. I'm with you. That is a win.
Yeah.
If FSU loses that game,
Oh.
I don't know how the seat gets any hotter than it is right now, but
Put the gasoline
I'm
on
with
it.
you. Yeah, that's a win. All right, SMU, that game also in Tallahassee. SMU last season 9-4, 6-2 in the ACC. Of course, 2 years ago, SMU made it to the college football playoff.
Yep.
I'm going to say that's a loss.
Yeah, me too.
All
yeah,
right.
SMU's got they got a good program going on, man. They past 2 years. They're on the upswing, that's for sure. Remember, they used to be unbelievable, and then they had the death penalty
Correct.
and then went through all that. But, man, they past couple years.
Yeah, they're one of the few programs, or one of the only programs, to have received the death penalty and then actually
Survive.
be successful. Yeah,
Right.
once
Yep.
again. All right, the third game of the season at Alabama. I understand that FSU beat Alabama to start things last year. Alabama, of course, was a playoff team, and they went 11-4 last season. I'm going to say that's a loss. So I've got the Noles at 1-2.
And look, DeBoer's on the hot seat too, to a
He
certain
is. So
degree.
that's a must-win, honestly, for both of these coaches.
Absolutely.
I just say I give the nod to Bama because it's in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I got Bama as well.
All right, then you've got Central Arkansas, who was 3-9 last season. So I've got 2-2
At home.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's an easy one. Then you've got, again, a home game, Virginia, who last season the Cavs went 11-3,
Yeah,
only
they were
lost
good
one
last
game in the ACC. So I've got that as a loss for FSU 2-3.
Yeah, even though it's at home. I'd like to see how, like, we can't do the crystal ball. How did they play in the first 4 games? But
Right, of
Yeah,
course.
that's
that would be helpful for this
I
exercise.
know, like, did they kick the crap out of, SMU, or did they get,
Did they
shellacked?
beat Alabama?
Yeah, or even make it tight,
Sure.
what happened.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknown, but because of both teams' records last year, and obviously there's a ton of turnover in college football, but that's what I've got. Noles 2-3 at this point in time. Louisville, that one is at Louisville. Louisville last season 9-4, 4-4 in the ACC. I'm going to give another L.
Man, poor Mike Norvell. He's getting kicked in the teeth. I would say, I'll probably go with Louisville as well.
Okay.
I mean, look, it's hard because what if the QB is legit and can really run the offense?
Sure.
What if
There's a lot of what ifs. If the run game gets back on track, if the defense is much better than what they have been and not a sieve, there's a lot of
I would
things.
think between Virginia and Louisville, they would have a chance to win one of those games.
Okay,
That's
so
what I would
then you would have the Noles at 3-3.
Okay.
And I have them at 2-4 if one of those
Going
holds.
into Miami.
Yeah. Then you've got a game at Miami, the team that obviously lost the national championship. Miami 13-3 with Darian Mensah coming in 6-2 in the ACC last season. I've got the Noles 2-5. I guess you've got the Noles 3-5.
3-4.
3-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then Clemson. So this, by the way, is where I think Mike Norvell gets fired, because if things go the way I think, Clemson last year wasn't great. I think Dabo Swinney's a little bit on the hot seat, and he'll turn things around. Clemson was 7-6, 4-4 in the ACC. So at this point in the season, I've got the Noles 2-6. That's where I think he gets the axe, right ahead of Boston College.
I don't know with Dabo. He really turned me off last year.
I get that.
He complained a lot, and I know he's not a huge, what's going on in college football with everything, the NIL.
He doesn't love the transfer portal.
He doesn't love that kind of stuff. I get that, but I think they win that game. I'm going to say they beat Clemson. I'm not. I mean, look, I always think of, like, athletically, Florida State should match up with almost any team Like, I always looked at LSU, regardless of the record, I'd be like, they've got fast. They're all fast. They're all big and fast. Or whether they're a great team or not, I don't know. But athletically, they're going to be able to hold up. So I'll use that kind of notion into playing Clemson and say they get a dub.
So 4-4 for you.
Sure.
Yeah. And then Boston College, obviously, you know them quite well. 2-10
on.
last year, 1-7 in the ACC.
Ooh, talk about the hot seat.
That
Bill
Bill
O'Brien's on
O'Brien
the
is
hot seat,
definitely
man.
on the hot seat.
And he is. He knows it. Again, he hasn't hit on the QB.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have his name, but they got a kid that came in through the transfer portal, number 10. They've been hyping him up. He looks the part, but he's a little smaller, but he can move around, and he's got a good arm, it looks like. But, his quarterback situation didn't work out. Remember, he grabbed the kid from Bama, who was a backup, thought he was going to, be the guy, and then he looked good for a little bit, and then it went south. He's on his third team. I think he went to Rutgers, that kid.
Oof.
Which, good luck with that.
Mason McKenzie? Is that the guy
for
you're
this
talking
year,
about?
McKenzie. Yeah, exactly.
Redshirt junior from Saginaw Valley State.
Okay, look at that. Maybe another, Chambliss, right? He came from Ferris State. You never know.
Is Saginaw Valley State
That's Michigan.
JUCO?
So that's
like Ferris State?
No,
is?
I think they're a 4-year program. Saginaw Valley.
Okay.
Wish Pete Mitchell was here. He'd tell me.
It's a
He's from
Division
Michigan.
2. That,
Okay,
I just,
the D2.
I just
All right,
figured it
good.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm still gonna. They're gonna beat Where's it at? No, it's at BC. No, I'm going to say BC pulls that one off. Hard to beat them at home when you're Florida State for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not surprised the Hall of Fame Boston College guys is going to take
Come
BC.
on, Billy. I'm pulling for you, buddy.
And then you've got Pitt, who last year was 8-5. That one's at Pitt. And by the way, yeah, we said at Boston College. At Pitt, 8-5 last year, 6-2 in the ACC.
Yeah.
I've got that as a loss. So I have at this point in time the Noles 3-7. Then home against North Carolina State, NC State. That one could go either way. NC State last year, 8-5, 4-4 in the ACC. But I've already got Norvell fired at that point in time.
Yeah.
And then Florida last year, obviously not a great season for either the Gators or the Noles, but I would right now pick Florida to beat Florida State.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, I've got the Noles 3-9 on the season.
So Pitt's got a really good QB. He was a freshman last year. I watched him a couple of times.
Yeah, really good.
He's got that on the field kind of toughness, moxie, if you will. Can run, can throw. So that's a loss.
Mason Heinschel.
Yeah, that's him. He was really good last year. NC State. We'll say that. I'll say that's a dub. Here's the thing, though.
NC State always plays FSU tough.
They do. You know what? They do. They do.
Although, like we said, it's in Tallahassee.
Though.
It's not the snake pit. Yeah.
Got them at home, so maybe. And then Florida should beat them. At the end of the day, though,
I love how you say that when Florida had a worse record than FSU last year.
but I don't know. I feel like they're going to turn
much better
it around.
coach.
Yeah, I like Summerall. I mean, listen, you know how it. I mean, look, 3 years ago, Norvell had him 13-0. You know, right? 3 years, 3 seasons.
Yeah,
that's a long time ago.
13-1.
Right.
Yeah,
but before the QB got hurt, which made a difference.
And but some people would have said, because remember that was against North Alabama that Jordan Travis got hurt, and people said if you were as good as you should have been, you shouldn't have been losing to North Alabama.
True.
Or it was as they might have been winning, but it was close.
It's hard to win 13. I mean, the 13.
It is. No, he had a terrific year that year and the year before that. And a lot of people didn't ever think that Jordan Travis would be a good quarterback. Norvell believed in him. Obviously, Jordan Travis transferred from Louisville to FSU, and he did a great job. I'm just looking at this schedule, and some people would say, well, the ACC is terrible. What do you mean? SMU's not that bad.
No.
Virginia's better. Louisville's pretty good. Miami, obviously, really good. Clemson, hit or miss. Boston College, not so good right now, but has been good in the past. And then you've got Pitt, really good again, and NC State. So I don't think the ACC may be as hard as like the Big Ten or the SEC, but still, that's a tough schedule.
Well, regardless of, because I think he would come out just under 500 in mine.
Yeah,
he's fired. I mean, he's going to get fired. He's got to have a really good season. I think, and I think the Noel Nation would say that too. They probably wish they started over, but they aren't. So they're going to roll with them, and they hope that he's going to do well this year. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't, you got to move on. I don't care what the buyout is, whatever. You figure it out. Go find some of your rich alum, and they'll figure it out. If you really, if you got that kind of portfolio to go after money like that, then do it. It is what it is.
Especially because remember they were supposedly sniffing around Lane Kiffin, and so at that point they were going to pay Norvell's buyout and pay Lane over $10 million a year to coach there.
Yeah, right.
So where was that
money?
That
coming from?
Yeah, where are those coffers?
Listen, I'm on the outside looking in, but I see what happens this year and then figure it out. If they're 1-6, you could see, hey, we've had enough.
Right.
Like it's time to go. Like
I don't think they'll be 1-6 because, like we said, New Mexico State and Central Arkansas.
All right, 2-6.
That's why I have him fired after Clemson. Is if they are 2-6, and again, like I said, I went through this exercise with a college football fan and an FSU fan, and we all kind of were around the same, maybe a game off. So, yeah, we shall see. All right, we'll get into some Jaguars football. On the other side, you are listening to Helmets and Heels 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Want to show off that backyard flex? Purple Heart Pools, a veteran-owned pool company right here in Jacksonville, is offering a brand new custom pool and spa package for a flat $75,000. All in, no bait, no switch. You heard that right. Only $75,000 for a custom pool and spa. Now's the time to break ground. Game days, summer nights, and neighborhood envy included. Schedule a free consultation today at purpleheartpools.com. Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran pool company.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Mike Dempsey. If you're thinking about a bathroom upgrade, maybe turning that old tub into a safer walk-in shower, check out 5 Star Bath Solutions. I shopped around, talked to several companies, and I chose 5 Star because their customer service was simply incredible. Responsive, honest, upfront about the entire project, and their pricing was even better than expected. When you're ready for a fresh look, better comfort, and a bathroom space you'll love using every day, schedule your free consultation at 5starbathsolutions.com and get the 5-star experience.
Picking here. Oh, boy, you know I love a good flash sale, and we got one right now from Zero Res. This week only 15% off all cleaning. It's International Cleaning Week, baby. Carpet, air ducts, tile, grout, upholstery, hardwood, area rugs, and more. Be the household hero and book now. Call 287-5727. Flash sale this week only for 15% off all cleaning from Zero Res. Tell them Dan sent you. Zero Res, spelled backwards and forwards. It's the right way to clean. Zero Res.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantling, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Stop letting high-interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. It's a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity with no appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan uses AI-driven technology to get you approved for cash in as little as 1 day with a rate that's at a 3-year loan. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out all their credit cards, started a home improvement project, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,500. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much cash you can get. No hard credit pull up front. Imagine, this time next week, you could be credit card debt-free. Loan Pronto, A-rated by the BBB, with nearly 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
This is not Turnpike Troubadours, everybody, so you do not have to call and win tickets right now.
RJ's a good man. I was singing this right here in the hall.
Yes, I heard you singing this in the hall.
And RJ's like, good tune.
Yeah.
Good job, my man.
Except
Pink
it's
Floyd.
not the right saying. Like we don't need no education. Like, no, you do need education.
You do. To a certain degree, you do. You got to know how to, balance your checkbook. Sure.
I mean, and I don't mean like you have to have a certain level of education.
I know what you mean.
I just mean, I know it's best for everyone to have a high school degree, put it that way. Like for longevity's
You got to
sake
get
and, yeah, for things like
that.
that.
And now the trades are huge. I have them on the Horse's Mouth show. I mean, they come on. It's great. It's such a great thing for young kids that don't want to go to college, whatever. You don't want to go to the 4-year, you're 7-8 month program and you're right into the workforce and you're making good money.
Sure.
It's pretty cool. How many different HVAC, or whatever, welding, whatever it may be. You got a wide variety. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, especially too if your family member owns one of those businesses and you kind of learn that growing up too.
Yeah, or learn it and start your own down the road.
Or that
I mean,
too.
you're pretty young when you start, right? If you're right out of high school or close to it. So yeah, no, I think the trades are great. I should take that back because I can't fix anything. I'm like the worst, handyman known to man. I'm terrible.
I doubt you're the worst, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's either a skill set that you are born with.
Yeah.
Or you're like me and I'm also mechanically not inclined at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, put it to you this way. Like, if when I painted, like I painted inside my house before, it would be in the line. It would just be spots over the line. Like, it would be awful. Like, I'm not a professional painter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's different. I mean, like if someone said you have to put this chair together or a desk.
Oh, I would hate doing that. Let me tell you, can I tell you a quick funny story?
Go for it.
So Avery, who's now 25, she's turning 25 next Saturday, or 2 Saturdays from this weekend.
Same day as the Orange and Blue spring game we learned.
Oh, yeah, April 11th, right. Yeah. So anyway, so we got her a tricycle. She's 1, right? Or 2 or something like that. And it's late at night. It's probably 2 in the morning, and I'm trying to get the last wheel on, the back wheel, the right wheel. And I had enough. I had enough to drink. I was tired. I was just like, this thing's getting on. And for whatever reason, it wasn't going on. I thought it was like bang, bang, bang. So anyway, we go outside the next morning. And the wheels wobbling like. I'm like, don't worry about it, babe. She's fine. She's fine. It's all good. And then one of my buddies is like, I can fix it.
Let me fix that.
Yeah, but I was like, did my best. Unbelievable. So I'm not good at that kind of stuff.
I've always thought about that for
stuff.
like parents the night before that certain holiday, trying to put a lot of stuff together in limited time, and you're exhausted. And
it could be just the meal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Prepping for the meal. Like we're hosting Easter this year. We love hosting Easter. But you'll be, some prep.
Do you, when you host, do you make everything, or do you
everyone
ask?
brings somebody.
Yeah. See, I think that's whoever decided that a few years ago, or 10 years ago, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Because growing up, it was always the host provided every single thing,
typically.
meat and all the sides,
Yep.
and dessert. And now I feel like it's kind of shifting to more of potluck, and that's the way it should be. One person shouldn't have to do everything, or 2 people.
Well, it's just a nice variety too, and bring what you like to eat. Yes. Like I don't want to force you into some stuffing that you may not like. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So.
I wanted mac and cheese, not mashed potatoes.
I wanted mac and cheese, not from the box.
Also true.
Right?
I have not had mac and cheese in a box in a while, but growing up, that was like my favorite thing.
What's your cheese, though, when you mix it with the elbows? What is it? What do you use?
Usually like a mixture of cheddar and Gruyere.
No Velveeta?
No Velveeta.
We're Velveeta.
That's fine.
I know.
Whatever
well, then we sprinkle the cheddar on top. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I know Velveeta's probably not the best one. A little processed.
Processed, yeah. You're supposed to take like the blocks of cheese and shred the entire block for it. That's a lot of work.
I got a lot of patience, as you know, so that probably isn't happening.
Yeah, but as you know, now we're not going to talk Jaguars football in the segment, so we'll just continue with this.
They're gonna eat a lot for Easter too.
Absolutely.
The boys. Yeah,
Don't use the packages, the bags of shredded cheese when you go to do that stuff, because it's coated with something weird to keep it from sticking together.
Course.
And so that's why you're supposed to shred the cheese. I don't know anything about Velveeta, but
shred
you
it.
can give tips on that.
There you go. Just cut it in little squares, easier to melt.
Yeah, that is also true. There you go. All right, so we will talk some Jaguars football on the other side. And in the next hour, you are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Many years ago, the fine people of Jacksonville longed for a radio station they could call their own.
Listen up, everybody.
1010XL.
This is our new home.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
It's a gift. That's what it is.
March is full of upsets, but your oil change shouldn't be one of them. Don't gamble with your time in a waiting room. Go with a proven winner, Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment, stay in your car, and a full-service oil change in 15 minutes. That's why Valvoline has a 4.7-star national rating and was named #1 quick lube in America by Forbes for customer service. Make the smart pick this March. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, easy, and built to win.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
The Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach is better than ever.
Come experience our new renovated spaces, including an expanded wellness center with upgraded state-of-the-art equipment, recovery solutions, brand new locker rooms, and the Horsell Center for Health and Well-Being, all designed to help you feel your best. And now you can join with no joining fee. Plus, enjoy your 4th month free. There's no place like this place. And you'll love what's new. Visit the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach.
Looking for adventure? Need a machine that works as hard as you do? CF Moto has you covered. At Ride Now Beach Boulevard, we've got CF Moto ATVs and UTVs built for any task, any trail, anytime. Tear up the dirt with the trail-tested C-Force ATV lineup or conquer through terrain with a Z-Force UTV. Find your CF Moto ride today at Ride Now Beach Boulevard or visit ridenowbeachboulevard.com. ATVs and UTVs are for riders 16 and older. They can be hazardous to operate. CF Moto recommends an improved safety training course.
Looking for golf that doesn't feel like golf? Welcome to Pine Royale, Callahan's new golf entertainment destination. Play a 9-hole par 3 course, compete in TrackMan-powered driving bays, and get ready for all-new 18-hole mini golf coming soon. As the sun goes down, the course lights up. Add in great food, a full bar, and space to hang with the whole crew, and suddenly golf feels a whole lot more social. Search Pine Royale Callahan and come play today.
Pages in your mailbox right now.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Pages in your mailbox right now.
Hicken here. Experience crystal clear vision with the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD, Jacksonville's leader in advanced eye care. From routine eye exams to specialized vision care, their experienced team dedicated to improving and preserving your vision. The same care you've come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Tom McManus is here. Taylor Dahl has the day off for watching some Cubs baseball. By the way, they are down to the Washington Nationals 1-0 so far in the bottom of the second. We will keep you updated on that. RJ Saunders is here. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Thursday afternoon. All right, let's get into some Jaguars football because, Tom, everywhere you look when it comes to the division rankings, almost every single one I've seen, if not all of them, have post-free agency the Texans number 1. Obviously, the Titans number 4. And then pretty much everyone I've seen is the Texans 1, Jaguars 2, Colts 3, and then the Titans 4. So they really believe that the Texans did a better job in free agency than the Jaguars did. Obviously, we'll reevaluate this after the draft.
Yeah.
But I can understand because they're so focused on what the Jaguars lost versus what the Jaguars gained. And I think they're excited about David Montgomery and, of course, the new offensive lineman.
Yeah, they got a couple. Wyatt Teller's a good guard. Braden Smith, a good tackle from Indianapolis. So they re-signed Ed Ingram. They re-signed the big dude on the Trent Brown, I believe, as a tackle. So, you know, they'll go in with an O-line that's somewhat new. You know, I think it's just that, you know, these teams, because I looked at Indy, I looked at Houston and Tennessee. They all made a lot of moves for the most part. I think Tennessee probably made the biggest moves.
Because they had the most money.
They had the most money. And just in our division, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the entire AFC. But, you know, look, we re-signed Buster, which is great. You know, outside of Jayville, although he was a high, you know, considered a high free agent, they might be like, oh, okay, great. You know, but we love it. You know what I mean?
If we had gotten Buster Brown, let's say, from another team, then I think people would have been more excited about the move. That's how free agency works.
Yeah,
but because you ended up signing Jacoby to an extension and then, signing
Yeah.
Cole Van Lannon signing Buster Brown. There's not as much excitement, even though we understand their value.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Ed Ingram gets re-signed by Houston. So great. Who cares? They weren't very good last year. Whatever. We don't know. But we're glad that Buster's back. So I think it's just a matter of, look, you re-signed Gardeck. It's good. We like that. But outside of Jacksonville, you might not think it's much of a, a thing where we're like, no, he's good. We like him on our team, of course. And then, adding Chris Rodriguez Jr., the running back, he's a bruiser. He's connected with Liam, 4 yards or more per carry. New run game coordinator, want a type of bruiser inside. Okay, we think it's great. I'm sure Washington probably, they got a good player, that type of thing. But outside of that, we're like, I don't know. As opposed to like, John Franklin Myers, like everyone knows who he is, big time defensive tackle. Wandale Robinson, the wide receiver from the Giants that the Titans ended up grabbing too. So that doesn't mean, look, I've said this many times. On paper is one thing, just and we all get fooled sometimes. We're like, oh my gosh, he's coming to our team. And we've seen it here in Jacksonville over the years, right? Yeah. And you're like, oh man, look what he did over here. He's going to come in here. He's going to be unbelievable. And then he's a dud. And you're like, what happened? Like, how did that? So you don't know if they're just because on paper it looks great, that it all comes together on the field for them. But I think, look, again, and I did see an article where they commended the Jags and James and not, going out free agency and collecting those picks, because the strategy is before the trade deadline, if there's somebody there that we want and we need to make a run, we got the picks. Like, go back to Jacoby Myers, LB. If we don't win that Raider game, do you think we sign him?
Trade for him? Yeah.
Maybe, or trade, trade for him? Probably not.
Probably not.
You're probably thinking, wait a minute, we may have something here. We need help.
And also Travis Hunter had gotten hurt right before that. So maybe they still do because they needed another receiver. But
but would
they also had guys with drop issues, as we've detailed. Yeah. So they might have still made the trade, even if they weren't sure they were going to win the division, which I obviously didn't know at that point in time.
Maybe you're right. Maybe they would have, but you're going to have those picks that be able to do that, right? And if there's some let goes June 1s, maybe you can figure something out. Maybe you don't need the picks there because you wouldn't have to trade for them, but you're waiting to see who falls. And it's okay, but as you look at it from a macro, like the Jags got depleted. Did they replenish any of that depletion? Maybe with Chris Rodriguez, maybe a part of, ETN's game. Maybe he's greater than I don't know. Maybe it's 20 touchdowns for the Jags. I have no, what I'm saying. Like, I have no idea. Maybe he comes in here, he's like unbelievable. Like, yeah, okay, well, he's fantastic. But you haven't replenished yet. So to date, I would, you're not that excited if you're looking from the outside in. You look at the other teams, you're like in the division, you're like, okay, they had the Blankenship kid. Okay, yeah, he's a good safety. You can see why maybe you went after him. Daniel Jones, Alec Pierce, that going back to the
Pierce
Colts.
is really good.
He is really
Daniel
good.
Jones coming off the Achilles makes you worried.
Right. But going back to the Colts, you're not gonna be like, oh, that's a great signing. You're like, you're just.
What about Arden
back.
Key to the Colts?
Yeah, Arden Key, his fourth team in the AFC South, right? A third team.
Third team, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. He can give you, a few things here and there, but. And then Ikeen, the wide receiver, it's a good one for the Indianapolis Colts. Having him as well going into 2026. So, yeah, I mean, look, does it mean, by the way, Indy loses Michael Pittman Jr. You got to throw that in. That's a loss. There's no
Braden
doubt.
Smith, who, we just complimented the Texans for getting him, and they lost him.
He's a good tackle. He's a good physical tackle. So, again, it doesn't mean that we're, not going to have a great year. We think we are. It just means that we're kind of waiting in the wings to see who falls, to see what we may need to do with those compensatory picks. And I don't know if I'm a fan of it yet because we don't know the outcome.
Right.
You know how I felt about Lloyd. I would have loved a John Franklin Myers. Yeah, I mean, you bring him to that D-line, you're like, oh, here we go. You know what I mean? You got Travis Hunter, now him, and
we would have loved Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah, well,
but he wasn't.
He was never available.
Yeah.
But guys that those kind of guys, you feel like they're gonna give you another 3-4 years of tremendous presence. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. I mean, look, John Franklin Myers. I mean, he could go to Tennessee and I don't know, have a falling out with the head coach and not like him and maybe not play as well as he played with the Broncos. You know what I mean? Things happen. Like I'll never forget when Hugh Douglas came here and I was like, Hugh Douglas, man, he's an unbelievable pass rusher from Philly. tough, and he just didn't do anything. And it felt like he didn't even care half the time he was here. So you don't know why those things happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen with John Franklin Myers. I don't know the young man, but I'm just saying, just because on paper it looks phenomenal, that doesn't always equate to phenomenal on the field or phenomenal within the chemistry of your team.
Yeah, and Saleh, I know, brought in guys that he's had a relationship with in the past. And so that's obviously his strategy is kind of like, honestly, the Jags strategy is, I feel like they wanted guys to bring in guys that they were familiar with in the past. This year, obviously, Chris Rodriguez from his time with Liam at Kentucky.
Correct.
But years past, a guy that has spent time with Coach Campanile, right?
Yep.
And in, what was that, Eric Murray? The Packers?
No. I don't think Eric Murray was.
No, it wasn't Eric Murray. It was another player that had time with
Savage.
Camp. Yes, Darnell Savage.
Yep.
No, it was 2 years ago, right?
That was 2 years ago.
We'll figure it out. But either way, they've liked to pair guys on this team with prior relationships with coaches.
If they can. No doubt. Because then you know what's coming in. Like that's why you look at Rodriguez. You're like, all right, so they know. Liam knows him. He knows what he's going to get out of him. It's not guesswork. He's proven it a little bit in the NFL in different flashes here and there. We believe he can do it even more so if we give him the opportunity.
Exactly. All right, more to do on the other side. You were listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5.
Short track, short stacks.
Lordy, what a man.
This Sunday at Martinsville.
Gonna win at Martinsville.
Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower, 1010XL.
Gold and silver prices are near all-time highs. If you have old jewelry just laying around, Estates Roadshow wants to buy it. Gold and silver, old rings, chains, even broken jewelry. Don't wait. Cash in while gold and silver are hot. The Estates Roadshow is in the First Coast area Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in St. Augustine at World Golf Renaissance. Get cash in your hands for your unused jewelry. More info? Visit estatesroadshow.com or follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook to see all upcoming local events and locations.
When it's game time, make feeding the crowd easy. Chicken Salad Chick serves fresh Southern-style chicken salad, flavorful sides, and crowd-favorite catering trays. Order ahead at chickcatering.com or visit one of 4 area locations today.
Rookies, free agents, and trade talk.
The ability to see the future and react to it. Now that is what I do.
The off-season is a time to tune up the roster.
I'm all ears.
Follow the road to the regular season with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
Transform your backyard with CSS fireplaces and outdoor living, fire pits, pergolas, screen enclosures, and outdoor kitchens. CSS handles the entire project from start to finish. You dream it, they can build it. Visit CSSOutdoor.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. March Madness continues tonight with the Sweet 16 at 7:10. Texas takes on Purdue at 7:30. Iowa takes on Nebraska. At 9:45, it's Arkansas versus Arizona, wrapping up with Illinois versus Houston at 10:05. The Gators baseball team will head to Fayetteville, Arkansas on Friday for a 3-game series with the Razorbacks. It's 77 degrees at 3 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Modern bluegrass. That's the genre I'll label on Turnpike Troubadours. They are absolutely fantastic, and they are headed to the AMP in St. Augustine Saturday, October 24th. If you want to go, be caller number 4, 641-1010, caller number 4. But of course, these tickets are win them before you can buy them. They go on sale tomorrow, livenation.com.
I feel like they're like that band that's, always playing outside of festivals, and maybe you're sleeping in a tent or your camper the night before. You know what I mean? Just living that camping
Very
life.
descriptive.
And then they're out there jamming. That'd be great. Everyone's tripping on. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like kidding. Everyone's out there, though, in the nature, and just, I don't know. It feels
you
like
can
that
camp at Anastasia State Park and walk to the AMP and then just walk right back to your tent.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I've had friends that have done that in the past. And so that one was called Gin, Smoke, and Lies. Like I said earlier, they are featured in Landman, which has had 2 seasons already of episodes. So I think they were pretty below the radar, even though they're fantastic and talented. They're just not necessarily played on regular country
Mainstream,
radio.
right.
And so I think that being on Landman probably helped their
Probably.
careers.
I would think it would.
I would think so.
They sound good. I mean, just the little clips we're hearing, they sound really good.
Yeah, definitely like a bluegrass jam band type for sure. All right, time now for Tom's Take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial #law. That's all.
All right, my take on this beautiful Thursday afternoon is who says you can't go home? Well, apparently the NFL says you can't go home. Tom Brady inquired if he could make a comeback in the National Football League while he's still part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. The NFL said, no, you cannot do that, Tommy. You'd have to divest your ownership stake in order to play. But how about that after playing in the flag football game, which he looked good. That throw to Stephon Diggs was pretty incredible. Now, granted, it's flag ball and not, might be a little bit set up, if you will. But going to be 49 this August, and wouldn't that be just something? I mean, I'll tell you this. He'd be way, way, way better than Phillip Rivers. I'll tell you that right now. He can still, it looks like his arm's strong enough to still throw it a little bit, but of course the NFL says, sorry, Tom, you can't do that, and your time has passed. And he did say, I'm happy in retirement, so good for him. If
you were him, if you really did want to come back and play quarterback again, would you be willing to walk away from the part ownership?
Only if the owner and I had an agreement that I could come back when my time is done. No, that's a big-time business decision. I mean, it's a small percentage of the team, but the team's worth billions. So that small percentage has got a lot. He's got a ton of money, though, on the other side, I would think. So I don't know. I mean, look, you know, when you're retire, whether you want to or not, say you don't want to, and then you get healthy and you feel like maybe I still got it in me. So you got the itch. You know, and if you're whipping the ball around like it seems like he still can, I'd wonder if he could hold up at all. But nonetheless, I thought it was a cool take that he said, "Hey, NFL, can I come in?" And they're like, "No, you're out of here." So he will happily be the owner. That's brought to you by Morgan.
Greedy, by the way.
Yeah, he's brought to you by Morgan and Morgan for the people.com.
He's greedy in the sense that he's getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to be on the broadcast, and yet he still is maintaining his stake in ownership, which to me, I think the NFL should say you have to choose one or the other. You can't have both, because there's times that he wasn't allowed in production meetings because he's a part of the Raiders, and I fully understand that.
Yeah, that's kind of weird that they're allowing him to do that. You know, I mean, because they do go in those meetings and they get a lot of inside information, and you know, just so they can have it on the broadcast. I like him as a broadcaster. I think he's gotten better.
I think he's gotten better.
Yeah, I like him. He knows the game. I like that. I liked how Tony Romo, he kind of faded a little bit for me, but I like how he, you know, he knows the game. He can call out things that maybe you don't notice on your own, you know, type thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how. And again, it's a small ownership stake. But all he has to do is pick up the phone and say, "Hey, guess what? I just heard from whoever, KC or Tennessee or Jaguars. We're playing them later. You know, they're doing this or they're doing that or they got this coming in."
Yeah, that's intel that you would be able to use.
Inside information you don't want to give.
When you said, "I guess you can go home again," or you said you can't go home again, I was thinking sometimes you can go home again. I'm sure you've seen the story that former LSU head men's basketball coach Will Wade was fired with cause from LSU and received a show cause because he was paying his players.
Okay.
And then he was caught. There was a whole FBI investigation. He was caught. They wired him, and he was literally caught on the wire saying, and the audio was able to be played on radio stations saying that we're going to pay him the bag, like a certain player. And then he ended up at McNeese State, then 1 year at NC State, and now LSU's going to hire him again.
Yeah, I mean, he fits right in. He's ahead of the game. I liked what Coach Orgeron said on that podcast. He's like, "How's it different today?" He's like, "Well, instead of the money coming in through the back door, we just bring it in through the front."
Precisely. Look, we all understand players can get paid at this point in time, and so we understand that the rules have changed. But you would think that LSU would not be the school to hire him back, right? Like, he tainted your school's record, if they even care about that. I shouldn't say record, but tainted your school's legitimacy, and yet they're just welcoming him back with open arms.
You know, though,
he's
Lauren,
a good coach.
You got to think, though, like way before any social media stuff, like even during it, like they've been paying players for a long time. I mean, think about, remember, you heard Auburn like paid Cam Newton like $180,000 or something. That was a long time ago.
Oh, I mean, I've heard in the 90s.
Even before that, they had to.
They were paying people's mortgages.
I'll tell you a true story. True story. It's past the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
I told you I'm really good friends with Frank Komet, Cole's dad. Well, Frank was a big-time recruit at Purdue. So was Jeff Scanina. We all went to neighboring high schools. We're all friends. And all the same year, right? So they both went to Purdue. They had a job in the summertime. They had to go check on these fields to make sure that the sprinklers were on. They didn't have to turn them on. They didn't have to turn them off. They just had to make sure that they were on. And they would pay them like $17, $18 an hour, although they didn't really have to be there. They would just clock in for whatever many hours a day, and that's how they got paid initially. This is before even like school started. This was a summer job. And so I'm sitting there going, "Dang, BC, don't do that." I'd look at some lights for some money, you know, what the heck? But that stuff's been going on. It's been different. It's different.
Yes.
You know, underhand, you know, envelopes at dinner, whatever. I remember, I got to leave him nameless because he's local, so I don't want him to. But he told me once, he said, I asked him, "Were you paid at college?" And he said, "I'm not going to say that." He's like, "All I'm going to say is that when I went home, our fridge was full of food and drink and everything. That wasn't the case before I went to school."
And that's how they got around it, yeah.
And that's okay. But to me, that's okay. I mean, what's wrong with that? You know, you come from a tough upbringing. You want to come, make sure my family's fed. Make sure my little brother's, you know what I mean?
And I think
that shouldn't be a problem.
People would have less of an issue with NIL if that's more what it was intended for, was to make sure that everyone on the team had enough food, had transportation. It's not supposed to
The
be for the
Bentleys?
cars that end up going so fast that players get arrested.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah, it's not meant to be that. One other basketball note, by the way, Boogie Fland
I
will
saw that.
return to Florida. So
Yeah.
2 years ago, he was with Arkansas. He flirted with the NBA, then decided to transfer, came to Florida. And as a Gator fan, I'm excited to have him back. I remember when it was announced that he was going to transfer to Florida, I was so excited. I had RJ play Boogie Two Shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Boogie Shoes. I want to put
Get
on
your boogie shoes. Yeah.
Boogie
Yeah.
Shoes. I was thinking of Goody Two Shoes, and then I combined them.
Sure.
But yeah,
You've been
Boogie-
hanging out with me too long.
Exactly. No, Boogie Shoes. And I was so excited, like dancing during the show. I was pumped.
Yep.
The season didn't go according to plan, obviously. The ending in the loss to Iowa Sunday night.
How did he play against Iowa?
Every player on the team had a below average game. Every single
How did
one.
Boogie
Not
play?
great.
Okay.
But he's elite defensively as a guard.
Okay.
His perimeter shooting did improve throughout the season,
Mhm.
but that certainly needs to get better.
Okay.
But they all had a
They did.
below average game.
Agreed.
Xavier had he was the leading scorer with 17 points. Obviously, if he had just a couple more points, then Florida could have
Yeah.
gone on to win.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you're even just like 2 more points, right? But I think, and he can't come back. Xavier Lee exhausted his eligibility. But I think Todd Golden now knows what he has in Boogie Fland too. So he'll be able to pair someone with Boogie at the other guard position to be able to maximize both players.
I wonder what kind of money Boogie gets. There's got to be something there, I would imagine.
Yeah, I've
Are
heard
basketball players
that
getting paid like football players? I mean, as much?
Some of them, yes,
they?
depending on which schools.
Wow.
But yeah, I
Good for
heard
them.
Alex Condon was between $2 and $3 million this past season. So
It's
then you're
unbelievable.
also paying
Yeah.
Thomas Houck.
Yeah.
You're also paying at that point Boogie to transfer.
Right.
And so yeah, I would say hundreds of thousands of dollars for some, and then millions for others for sure.
Man, that's a payroll you got to keep up with year in and year out.
It's the cost of doing business.
It's right.
But
No, you're
you
right.
make the tournament, you make a lot of money for your school.
That's right.
You
That's
win
right.
the tournament,
Yeah.
you win
Big
or
time.
make even more money.
Yep.
And one baseball note, I saw Paul Skeens allowed 5 runs
Yeah.
in just 0.2 innings against the Mets. So
Yeah.
he had an early exit. That game is 6-4 Mets over the Pirates in the bottom of the 5th.
I also saw he gave a bunch of money to the Gary Sinise Foundation. Gary's awesome. He does a lot of concerts for the military and their families, and he takes care of them. I saw one time he loaded up a jumbo jet of military families and took them to like Disney World or something like that. He
that's
does a lot
awesome.
of great stuff. So it's cool to see Paul Skeens put into that kind of thing.
Yeah, he seems to be a fantastic guy in addition to a fantastic pitcher. Other games, the Brewers are up on the White Sox 4-1 in the top of the 3rd. The Cubs have tied it up 1-1 there in the bottom of the 3rd. And as most people know by now, the Yankees beat the Giants last night 7-0.
7-0, yeah.
They're in San Francisco. More to do on the other side. Maybe more tickets to give away. You shall find out. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
More touchdowns, birdies, home runs, and slam dunks. More heartbreakers.
Every time you lose, you die a little bit.
And more victories.
And it goes for the win!
1010XL.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. Triumph did a really cool thing last year, Greg. They went off-road. What's happening with Triumph?
Well, not only did they go off-road, they threw all the chips on the table. Ricky Carmichael personally developed this motorcycle for them. So if you haven't seen the Ricky Carmichael 450, you need to come see it. Also just released some Enduros this year. They've got a full lineup. You're going to love them.
Talking Triumph, the latest off-road Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency. Check out cyclesofjacksonville.com.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services, and Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball opens this weekend at Five Star Ballpark. Come early tomorrow for the opening day street carnival and don't miss post-game fireworks, all presented by Roland Reach Plumbing and Ascension St. Vincent's. Then Saturday the 1st, 2,000 fans get replica championship rings and more fireworks presented by Birkin Construction. The defending AAA national champs are home all weekend. Tickets start at just $5.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you are a sixth-generation jeweler. What kind of watch do you wear?
Frank, I think I've told this story 1,000 times. The watch I wear is a Rolex, and here's why. When my grandfather gave me a gift for graduating from college, he said, I want you to have something that you'll always remember me for. And he gave me a Rolex watch, and some 35 years later, it still runs and looks as good as it did the day I got it. A day I'll always remember. This might be the right time for you to create the same kind of memory, and nothing does it better than a Rolex from Underwood's. Whether it's a lady or a man's, the Rolex Oyster has the classic good looks and incredible durability and accuracy that make it the watch people want to own. And at Underwood's, all of our Rolexes come with a 5-year guarantee.
Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra. Underwood's, serving excellence since 1928. Underwood Jewelers.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and if you think Closets by Design is just closets, you've got to see their brand new showroom at Phillips and Emerson. It's amazing what they can do. See for yourself how they custom design organization for any space. Garages, laundry rooms, bedrooms, even the man cave. It's all about smart storage that fits your lifestyle and budget. Schedule an appointment to meet with a design consultant and tour the showroom for ideas you can see and touch. Start at closetsbydesign.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
All right, your final chance to win the pair of tickets to go see Turnpike Troubadours at the AMP Saturday, October 24th. These are win them before you can buy them, and this song called 7 and 7, probably one of their most popular and famous songs, I would say. The tickets go on sale tomorrow at livenation.com, but if you are the correct caller, and I'm going to give it to the fastest dialer, RJ, caller number 1, 641-1010, caller number 1, and you are headed to see Turnpike Troubadours at the AMP. Like we said earlier, the AMP, is one of the greatest venues around these parts.
Yeah, for sure. Always a great time down there to see a show, and these guys sound great. I think they're going to put on a great show for you.
Absolutely, and especially October at the AMP.
Yeah,
ooh,
beautiful,
absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
All right, I want to get it back quickly to Florida basketball because we found out just a few minutes ago that in addition to Boogie Flan returning, Florida's best shooter, Urban Klavjar, will also return next season. Number 7. In case you missed it the other day, Tom was like, yeah, number 7 came in that game against Iowa.
Knocked a couple great shots down, and then they took him
and then
out.
he was out again. I was like, number 7 is Urban Klavjar. Good thing I know the numbers. But he's by far their best 3-point shooter.
Yep.
And like I said, with Boogie coming back, now with Klavjar, Todd Golden knows what he has in these guys.
Yep.
And he's such a good coach that he'll be able to get some other guys in the transfer portal depending on who else returns.
Yeah. And I'm not, Mr. Aficionado when it comes to college hoops, but watching Iowa, like their bigs matched up good with the bigs. You needed your guards to come through.
Correct.
He hits a couple shots.
Yeah.
I know he's smaller, so maybe he can't guard as well. And if they go big, you got to go big, that kind of thing. But that's why I was like, man, why'd they take him out? Like he gave you a little jump, maybe gives another one or sets up and, Someone coming down low, that kind of thing, because they come out to get them. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
not as
felt
good of a defender, and I guess that was the philosophy. But yeah, the Iowa completely took Ruben Chinilu out of the game, the SEC Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, I should say.
Yeah.
And getting to see Ruben Chinilu in person guard the Alabama guard, 2 different ones, as a matter of fact, and his footwork, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so good at rebounding all season. You just thought that Florida would play its game regardless of what Iowa did and still get the ball in the paint. And then if things aren't going well there, you kick it back out and you get it to the guys that have the hot hand. But everything fell apart. And that's why tonight it will be Iowa against Nebraska. That game tips off at 7:30. A little before that, you have Texas versus Purdue. And then the later games this evening, Arkansas versus Arizona. That's going to be a good one. That tips off at 9:45.
Yeah.
And then the late night game, Illinois-Houston, another fantastic
That's going to
game.
be a great game.
Tips off at
so
10:05.
late.
Yeah, 10:05. This is
Come
why
on.
when I talk to my family that lives in other time zones, they're like, Central is great, and then West Coast also great.
Put Iowa, Nebraska like midnight. Nobody cares about that game. I mean, please.
And I guess
Put the good ones
they
on.
each won in the regular season. Nebraska beat Iowa once, and Iowa beat Nebraska once. So 1-1 this year.
The rubber match.
That's right.
Let's
the rubber
see.
match is right. All right, so let's get it back to NFL football. We were talking about which team in the AFC South improved the most through free agency. I will say, I do think the Texans the Titans spent the most money, so they probably improved their roster overall. But as far as the team that I think ended up the best after free agency, I still think that's the Texans based off of what they had and what they added.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I think the Texans are the best team in the division. I just think because they made more moves with the trade and then obviously with the running back and then also adding the offensive lineman, some defensive players as well.
Yeah, well, Blankenship's a good safety.
Yeah.
Braden Smith's a good lineman. Wyatt Teller's another good lineman. They grabbed Logan Hall, who I thought we would try to get from Tampa, the defensive end. They grabbed him. David Montgomery, I think that really swings it because everyone's thinking you replaced Joe Mixon.
Correct.
He may not be Joe Mixon.
Because you never had Joe Mixon
But you
last
replaced,
year.
and that hurt him. That hurt him not having that. Sheldon Rankins comes back. He had a really good year as a defensive tackle.
Potentially Tank Dell, even though that's not a free agent thing.
No,
That's
right.
coming
Maybe
back
get
from
him
injury.
back. Yeah, so I could see.
I still think the
I could
Jaguars
see
are a
that.
better team than the Texans because I always look at who has the better quarterback, and I think Trevor Lawrence is better than C.J. Stroud. But they definitely have a phenomenal defense, and they did add some key impressive
We need to just get a little closer to their defense with our defense. You know what I mean? Because their defense is by far better than our defense.
Right.
It just is. Okay? That's not a knock on our defense. It just is what it is. Get a little bit better in the pass game, getting after the QB. We've all talked about that.
They're intimidating,
Then
their
you'll-
defense.
Well, they're suffocating. And when you're suffocating, that's a problem for the opposing quarterback. It's a problem for the running game. They shut down the run, too. They get after the QB. They're good on third down, all that kind of stuff. So if we can shore that up and get back, our offense is better than their offense. There's no doubt. Our quarterback's better. Our O-line's better. We'll see. I like David Montgomery a lot. I think he's a really good back. I don't think he's like a, game-changing special back, but I think he's a really good back that'll fit that offense and can take some pressure off the QB because he's got some juice. He's got some moves, but he's got power too, and he'll run hard for you. He's a hard runner. So we'll see, for them. But, yeah, I think if you added all that up, you'd give the nod to Houston as far as what they've done with free agency. Look, Blankenship's, he's good. He's not like, he's good. He's a good safety, or maybe better than good. Maybe he's very good safety. But he's not like an elite, like, oh my
and
gosh.
Safety's
wish
probably
we had him.
farther down the list as far as the most important players on your team. Quarterback, obviously, one, then left tackle and edge. And then wide receiver and corner, right? Like
After
all of
that,
those.
though, ball hawk and safety's there.
Middle
I would think.
linebacker. You'd have
ball
safety.
hawk. Because they're ball
That's
hawk.
coming from you.
I know, but a ball hawker, they make interceptions. They change games.
Yeah, what we thought Andre Cisco was going to be.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, but yeah, I think if you look at it from that perspective, I will say the Franklin Myers and the Wandale, that might be the nice 1-2 shot. You know what I mean? Like you really upgraded both position groups with those guys. For Tennessee.
Plus they added Alontae Taylor and Cordell.
Yeah. Two corners that we'll see what they can do. But again,
they had a horrific secondary last year.
Yeah.
They had to do something.
Absolutely.
Kind of like the Rams.
Yeah. No, right. And the Rams did. I mean, the Rams only made like 2 or 3 moves, but they're very significant. And they changed their defensive backfield. Not only did they get the the kid McDuffie.
Trent
They
McDuffie.
also got Watson, the other corner.
Jalen.
Yeah, he's a good corner too. So, a couple moves for them. They get Stafford back. They're feeling really good about their chances. Got to Puka to stop biting people. I guess he's got a biting problem or something. I don't know what that story is. Allegedly. Yeah. But
he was saying things he shouldn't be doing, and not being an appropriate person in general. All right, as you look elsewhere around the AFC, as far as teams that really upgraded their free agency, I feel like the Broncos are a team that did a really good trade for Jalen Waddle, and then getting J.K. Dobbins, and then keeping certain players like an Alex Singleton. I feel like the Broncos did a really good job.
The Broncos did a very good job. I think the Raiders did a tremendous job. I mean, they good for them. They get Max back. We'll see if that sticks. But I think the Raiders did a pretty good job. They grabbed Quay Walker,
Nakobe Dean,
Kwity Paye, a pass rusher, the Lindenbaum, the center, the best center in the league. They got to have the QB. We'll see. They all saying Mendoza, but they better hit on that. You get Genty back. Obviously, you get Bowers. I mean, but they got to have the QB.
I wanted the Jaguars to get Brock Bowers in the worst way.
So bad, no doubt about it.
I knew it was unrealistic, but I still wanted them to get him.
But they did a great job.
The Patriots,
the Raiders.
once again,
Pats did a great job.
Second year in a row, did a really good job. Elijah Vera Tucker, Romeo Dobbs, Kevin Byard.
Byard, you love. He led the league in interception. He's a Bear. The Vera Tucker was awesome coming out of college, out of USC, and he's just been hurt a couple times. So if he's over the injury things, he's a vicious guard. There's no doubt. You'd love him.
He replaced Will Campbell.
Wait, I don't know if he, and then Will have an injury or something? I don't know. Will's got to look. He's got a big task ahead of him from year 1 to year 2. He's got to up his game if he's going to protect the franchise. And Drake May is the franchise.
The Steelers also did great, adding Michael Pittman, Rico Dowdle, Jamel Dean, Jaquan Brisker, guys like that, Asante Samuel Jr. The Steelers brought in quite the haul.
Yeah, those are some nice named players, right? And I get like some Jag fans like, why didn't we have any of that? Well, we couldn't to a certain degree, right? Just because the cap, the dead money, the way that Balky left things and what we had, we don't. And it's interesting, too. I mean, you could have manipulated a little bit more, but you didn't want to, and it's okay. But you always hear, what do you hear every year? You can figure it out. You can manipulate the cap. Do this, you can do this. We couldn't. Or we didn't want to, or we chose not to. You know what I mean?
It's not baseball where you can spend whatever you want, and then you just pay the luxury tax.
No, right.
And you go
exactly.
over.
No, you got to fit it in.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, and you got to save room for the rookies.
Yeah. And then on the NFC side, the 49ers, I really liked what they did in free agency, adding Mike Evans and Christian Kirk, Drake Greenlaw. They were able to retain, and then Eddie Pinedo, the kicker, they were able to retain him as well.
Yeah, they're just reloading there. See what happens with Trent Williams. It sounds like they're having a couple issues with him. He was due a big bonus that they didn't give him. They were trying to restructure or something, and now they may try to move him. He's still one of the better left tackles in the game. I mean,
even though he's 37.
Even though he's 37. You see that guy when they motion him as like a move tight end, and he comes around. Jeez, that must be a tough one to take in the
the report from a 49ers website as of a couple days ago, 49ers and Trent Williams are not anywhere close in contract talks. So other teams, I feel like, are chomping at the bit to get a player like that, even though he is 37 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, he's a guy you don't have to worry about at left tackle, at least for a year or two. I mean, look, you get older, the injuries mount up. The elbows hurt a little bit more, the shoulders hurt a little bit more, the hips and knees, all the joints basically. They tend to creep up on you. But yeah, I would expect San Fran to be back, back in the mix. St. Louis, San Fran, Seattle. I don't think Arizona. We'll see what they do at QB, but those trios should be good once again. I mean, the Rams are ready. All they did was a couple moves for the secondary.
They reloaded.
They're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Kansas City will be interesting with Kenneth Walker III.
I saw Patrick Mahomes was at Texas Tech's Pro Day today.
Yeah.
So
he looks all right, I guess.
He
3 months removed.
Rehab's going well.
Yeah, I've had the ACL. It's a kind of it's a tough rehab because you got to break through all the scar tissue before you can really strengthen everything, and It's so funny. We used to have this guy named John, and he would get you on your stomach, and he would put his like your heel, like the backside, your front side of your heel, like by your ankle, and your foot hanging over his shoulder, and he would just press down, and he would, and you'd be like, "Oh, John, I'm gonna kill you," and he's just like, "Oh, quit being a whip, quit being a whip."
That's honestly like anytime someone stretches a hamstring a little too much, right?
Yeah.
like you're just like
You just got to break through that stuff to get to the real.
But most people don't want to get to that point,
it
which is
hurts.
understandable. By the
Absolutely.
way, I'm sure you saw this from last week. Mike Ryan, your former athletic trainer,
Absolutely.
will be honored by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yes, yeah. We when we had that breakfast, he was there.
Nice.
Yeah, Mike's fantastic. He's always just been a really good guy. He's one. If a lot of people may or may not know. He used to be this lunatic Iron Man, like Hawaii Iron Man stuff. Don Davies done it too. He's a lunatic himself. We love them both, and I love lunatics. There's no question about it. But yeah, Mike Ryan, like when we'd be practicing and he had a minute, he'd be sprinting around the outsides of the 3 football fields. I mean, just running like a little rabbit. Swing. And we'd be like, does this guy stop at all? But he was a great trainer, very smart. He's on Football Night in America. He's their correspondent on the sideline with injuries and things like that. So he's a great guy. I'm really happy for him. Well deserved too. He did it for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of guys who can run like rabbits, I saw that Travis Hunter was in a picture with Anthony Edwards from
I saw
last
that.
night.
Yeah. Good for him, man.
RJ's like, oh, you mentioned NBA. I'm paying
Yeah.
attention now.
Yeah, I saw that picture. That looked cool. They were and backstage too, like in the tunnel. They were posing as well. So it was cool.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Who's a better player, Travis Hunter or Anthony Edwards?
I think both are freak athletes.
Yeah, for sure.
To be honest, I think Anthony's like one of those guys. He could have played any sport and been good. So
yeah.
No, I mean, the question was for me. I was like, what is Travis Hunter doing in Minnesota? But I mean, maybe the sea ant. I don't know. It's just he's been so out the way. It really feels like since that injury, like nobody's really seen him. It's almost like he's Bruce Wayne-ish.
Yeah, it's interesting too. You don't really see him too much.
The
but
Grizzlies
maybe,
lost last night.
Maybe
That's
they're
not helpful.
Maybe
They
they're
lost their
buddies
stars.
from way back or something. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to go to the game. A guy can do whatever.
Yeah, I would say Anthony Edwards to this point has had a better career, but Travis Hunter's only been in the league for 1 year.
Yeah.
He was injured for half of it.
I can't wait to see him even in camp. Just to see him run around, how he looks, how he feels.
Yeah.
It was a darn shame that injury happened. But like we all know, it's a vicious game. People get hurt. Hopefully he can come back and be that player that we all need and that he wants to be. He wants to be great. And I'd love to. By the way, when you mentioned, who's the better player, I was thinking like Travis. I'm sure I'd like to see him dunk. Like I wonder how high he can. I'll never forget. Was it me, you, and it was me, Beasley and I, and I think you and Taylor were like next to us, and it was early in camp, and the throw was it was the first day of pads because remember they did the red zone right away. They went right into it.
It was right in front of us.
It was right in front of us, and the ball. We're just looking at his feet, and he must have been 4 feet in the air without even trying. It was just like a and a swing, and he's just hanging up there in the air. And me and Bees were like, "Whoa!" That was unbelievable seeing that kind of athletic feat.
I think there was like a video of him at Colorado playing basketball. No,
Yeah.
I mean, guy's got skills.
I bet. he
I
does,
feel like if he had
Great
some
athlete.
just like refining like to his game, like he could have probably been a more than better than average college basketball player. So
Kind of like remember Charlie. I know you remember Charlie Ward. Man, he was an unbelievable football player. Unbelievable. He was just. He'd have been perfect in today's game. Wouldn't he have been? I mean, if you needed the run and throw, I mean, he was dynamite. I loved watching him play. And then he's like, I'm going to go play hoop. And had a great career. Played like 12 years, right? 12 years, 14 years. Never star, but a role player and made a ton of money. And God bless him, man. What a great to be able to choose.
And basketball.
Which one am I going to go with?
I feel like you're going to be less injured in basketball. I know there's the ankle stuff and sometimes ACLs, now Achilles, I guess. But
which is amazing because you think all that time on the hardwood's got to hurt the joints. And we don't see it on TV, but live, I know you see it. They bang. I mean, they're crashing into each other. Man,
at least they used to be.
Big men. I mean, this not like, a 6'2", 250-pound linebacker. It's like 6'9", 270 big song gone. That's going to like hurt you. You know what I mean? But they're battling each other. That's the physicality you don't appreciate till I think you see it live and you're close up and that means at any level for me.
Sure, yeah.
You know?
College basketball is the same way.
Yeah, of course.
I think you'd probably appreciate Wendell Carter Jr. if you watched NBA basketball for the Magic. I mean, he's ragdolling people sometimes, and he's very just like unassuming because he's so quiet, like into himself. But he's built like a Mack truck, and he laid a couple hits on Austin Reeves at the Lakers game that I went to, where I mean, Austin Reeves is flying about 10 feet, and they're not calling a foul. Because I mean, he's just so massive. It's kind of like, okay, did he run into him intentionally, or is it just Austin Reeves is about 190 pounds, dripping wet, and you blow on him, he's falling.
Yeah, that game had to be so fun for you, by the way, because the Lakers ended up winning by a point over the Magic, but like obviously RJ's team, Lakers.
Absolutely. You could always do that debate. I do think basketball players, NBA, are probably the greatest athletes in any sport. I mean, to be that big and move the way they
I
move.
feel like hockey players always want to say like it's us because they also have to be
ridiculously
so fast
athletic.
And, the cardio and everything. But swimmers will also, I feel like, always want to put their name in the hat, even though it's a little different. It's an individual sport.
I guess it depends on what you call athleticism. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of forms. Like you be a swimmer, you're an athlete. Of course you are. You know what I mean? You be a golfer. Am I an athlete? Yeah, you are. But what is the most athletic, I guess?
Yeah, I think most people probably think the running the fastest, the jumping the highest, that kind of stuff. Like
just
the quick twitch.
The quick twitch. You know, like covering somebody based on instinct. You got to be a really good athlete, and then throw in. You're not 5'8" running around. You're 6'8". You know what I mean? 7'2" or 7 feet or whatever.
Wimby 7'4".
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah, it is.
And the Magic play tonight, 7:00 against the Kings.
All right.
So that'll be fun stuff. All right, more to do on the other side, including the golden moment. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Get a Gator baseball chomp on 1010XL.
The Gators take their Sunshine State shutout at the baseball grounds to Fayetteville for a weekend series against the Razorbacks. Florida and fourth-ranked Arkansas. Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon on 1010 AM.
Sports fans, Max Fink here with 1010XL, and when I wanted to send flowers, the advice came fast. Use Kuhn flowers, they all said. Kuhn can handle anything for any situation. Well, I took that good advice. Kuhn flowers made it happen for me. KuhnFlowers.com.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Liberty Landscape Supply is sponsoring Whiteout Cancer Night with the Jacksonville Icemen, Friday, April 3rd. Wear your Icemen gear in store and grab free game tickets while supplies last. Bring your ticket back with any $25 purchase and get a free 1-gallon plant. Liberty Landscape Supply has been making outdoor projects simple in Jacksonville for nearly 20 years. Find one of the 4 area locations at libertylandscapesupply.com.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trust a company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal.
Stand back, Jason. I'm gonna
Sneeze? Yeah, I saw that coming.
It's all this spring pollen, Jason. It's outside and it's inside my house, and I just can't stop. I can't stop.
Sneezing? Okay, let me help you with that.
How can you help?
At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can improve your indoor air quality with air purifiers, UV lights, and filtration systems. Every new system we install includes high-efficiency 4-inch filters that work better and last longer, even if you forget to change them.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing.
Life can get pretty dusty sometimes. If you spend all day, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
PGA Tour star Ricky Fowler.
If you want to be the best, you have to practice with the best. That's why I had Southwest Greens install and maintain my putting green, and my synthetic lawn, and my chipping area, and my practice bunker area, and my bocce ball court, and our pole vaulting area.
Southwest Greens is the world's premier manufacturer and installer of putting greens, synthetic grass, chipping areas, practice bunkers, and just about anything else you want to do in your yard.
It's Southwest Greens.
Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
The golden moment for me today is that we've talked a ton of football, but there is baseball going on because it is officially opening day. Of course, opening night last night. But so far, you've got the Mets over the Pirates 9-4 in the top of the 6th. The Brewers over the White Sox 4-1 top of the 4th. The Nationals have been on a tear. They are now up 7-2. The Cubs have made it 2-1, but it's now 7-2 Nats in the bottom of the 4th. So good stuff for baseball today.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, again, to me, that's a sport. It's better live. You know, like being at the stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah, having gone to a baseball game Tuesday night, obviously between Florida State, a little different than Major League Baseball, but you just, especially if you are paying attention to it, right? Like, it's easy, I think, to get just chit-chatting and have fun and get your hot dogs and beer or whatever, popcorn.
No, right.
But if you're actually locked in to the game, it's so easy in person to pay attention to every single pitch.
Look, to be able to hit that ball is unbelievable.
Well, sure.
You know what I mean? 100 miles an hour, whatever, and moving. You know, it's amazing. Like, you know, and I love, like, we've all talked to Daniel Murphy before. I love he would tell, I interviewed him about, like, batting, like, swinging. He's like, yeah, man, that's my play. Like, that ball's anywhere near my zone where I'm swinging. I don't care. Like, I'm like, wow, that's the way you guys do it. Because I was like, it's funny. I was always passive aggressive at the plate, you know, as a young kid, not in football or basketball, but for some reason in baseball. I'll never forget my dad told me. I'll never forget because I was all upset. He goes, listen, you got to get mad at that ball, Tom. And I was like, all right. And I hit a single. I was like, oh my gosh, it works. But no, it's funny. But to be there, like Wrigley, Fenway, you go down to town, like it doesn't matter where, even in our great city of Jacksonville, watching this shrimp, it's just better in person. I won't watch it on TV. I watch the highlights, you know, because I watch sports and all that kind of stuff and check it out the next day. Playoffs or World Series, especially if the Cubs are in, I want to check it out, you know, that type of thing. And that's when it gets like every pitch counts. And I know you can say that about the regular season, but you got a lot of games. I mean, to make up, you know, you get in a rut, you get on a roll, you know, you figure it out, that kind of thing. But when it's the playoffs, it's like sudden death in football. You know, it's like March Madness in basketball. That's what makes it so great. Like, you're one and done. Like, and you don't have to be the best team, you know, 10 in a row. You just need the best team that day against that opponent. You know, that to me, that kind of stuff is magical. But be able to see it live, like if you watch the pitchers and just watch how they whip that ball, you're just like, holy cow. Like, how do you even? I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Well, and some, like you said, they're throwing 100 miles per hour, but then their next pitch might be 88 miles per hour, right?
Yeah,
with the changeup. And so, like, how do you get used
differentiate,
to what's about to happen? And
well, it's funny. My good buddy we call him Beef Hollis, because he came with us on a trip to Key West back in the late 90s. Like, we had a break, and we're a bunch of Jag and BC guys. And he's like, what am I? I said, man, you're the kicker. We'll call you Beef Hollis. All right, so his name's Beef Hollis. But, yeah, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, we used to love watching you at bat because you get so mad when you strike out. And I was like, I know. He's like, remember that time you threw the bat over the dugout? I said, yes. My third strikeout. I couldn't hit the curve. It drove me crazy. And I took that bat and slammed it on the plate. I whipped it at my dugout, not at them, but like trying to get it over. They all like jumped and screamed, like, ah! And they threw me out of the game. That was awful. I knew then baseball wasn't. It's just not my game.
And that's
okay.
Perfectly understandable. By the way, a little after 4, you've got Angels, Astros. Then you've got Tigers at Padres, also at 4:10. Red Sox at Reds, also at that time. And then Rays at Cardinals, 4:15. Also, Rangers, Phillies, 4:15. And then tonight, you've got Diamondbacks at the Dodgers and Guardians at the Mariners at 10:10. So for all the people that like to stay up late, they've got Major League Baseball on late, and they've got college basketball.
Great basketball game. I think Illinois-Houston is going to be one of the better games.
Yeah, so you'll wake up and find out what happens.
You know it. I'll look online.
I love it.
First.
All right, one segment to go. We'll bring you today's Pest of the Day on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM.
The Clay County Fair turns 40 this year. 4 decades of crazy rides, live music, great food, and Team 1010 XL's food eating contest. It's your main man, E.T., and I'll be looking for you April 2nd through the 12th. Learn more at claycountyfair.org.
Frank Frangie here. If you're expecting a tax return this year, here's a smart way to use it. Invest in new tires from Big Chief Tire. It's one of the best things you can do for your car and your safety. I've been going to Big Chief for years because they do it right every time. Put that refund to good use and hit the road with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today. And let Big Chief take care of you. That's Big Chief Tire.
Best Bet poker fans, the stakes are high this month as Best Bet dishes out over $700,000 between Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine's poker rooms. Feeling lucky? How about daily high hands, weekend winnings every Friday and Saturday, and go for the green on St. Patrick's Day, where a royal flush in clubs wins up to $5,000. See all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Most things are easy when you're motivated. The question is, what happens when you're not? That's where Awaken 180 was different for me, Sneaky Joe, Bowerly, Beamer, and everyone else I know. Get motivated at awaken180weightloss.com.
David Garrard here, and once again, I'm reporting good news about how good my knees are doing following PRP treatment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For an old quarterback like me, my knees are in great shape.
You don't have to be a celebrity or a professional athlete to appreciate the everyday personal attention you'll receive at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For any orthopedic need, call on the pros at SOS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Checkmate.
I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate's mascot and brand ambassador.
Why do you even talk in these ads?
People see me on the trucks, Brendan, so they expect to hear from me as well.
But I have over a decade's experience personally installing high-quality polymer floors right here in Jacksonville.
Well, I'm a professional mascot, riding around on the side of your trucks, smiling at passers-by.
Then could you at least tell people about our 2-stage polymer application process? Give your garage the finishing touch with a gorgeous floor that's guaranteed to last?
A bit busy posing for selfies, I'm afraid.
Years of experience?
Check. Adorable mascot?
Check. The team you need to make your garage gorgeous? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
How many Major League Baseball players have played exclusively for the Yankees and the Mets?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Just 6 Major League players have played exclusively for the Yankees and the Mets, including the famous Yankee catcher Yogi Berra.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Top Dog Tavern is your gathering place for family and friends, offering something for everyone. Want a delicious meal served with a smile? We have you covered. Shareable appetizers, hot and crispy wings, juicy tavern burgers, fresh salads, plus a large craft beer selection. And there is nowhere better to watch all the big games than on our multiple TVs. Enjoy great food, cold drinks, and good times at Top Dog Tavern, located in Bartram Park off Old St. Augustine Road.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
I spent 20 years trying to get out of this place. I was looking for something I couldn't replace. I was running away from the only thing I've ever known.
Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Taylor Dahl has today off watching some Cubs baseball. She'll be back with us tomorrow.
You'd be good at that lip singing stuff.
Lip syncing has always been something that I enjoy.
Always screw that
doing.
up. It's like supposedly. It's supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
Right, yeah.
It's okay. I feel like a lot of words in today's day and age, like probably is how people say nobody says probably.
Probably,
Yeah.
right. No, probably.
Probably, yeah. And so
Forget the bees.
yeah, I think it's
probably.
fine. Supposedly.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was Bon Jovi and Jennifer Nettles.
Yeah.
Who says you can't go home?
Who says
we
you
were,
can't?
We were talking about that earlier in the show. But time now for the Pest of the Day. It's always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. If you have any sort of pest control issues at your house, or if you have mosquitoes that you want to take care of, make sure that you contact Terminix. They do a great job taking care of anything we need at our house, Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. We didn't get to the story the other day, and I didn't really want to discuss it, but the Pest of the Day will be the cornhole player, the quadruple amputee cornhole player, who today had to waive the hearing in the murder case. There was a video of him apparently shooting the person that he shot and killed. So, yeah, like I said,
At the tournament?
No, not at the tournament.
okay.
It was in a vehicle.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, he was in an argument, I suppose, with the person.
Amputee, quadruple amputee can fire a gun.
Yes, that is correct. And so he was arrested and, like I said, today waived the charge, or waived hearing in the murder case. But
wow.
It's a sad story, and sometimes I make the Pest of the Day funny, other times I make it a little more serious. Today's a little bit more serious, but that's all we have to say about that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. But listen, all the good amputees out there, we're pulling for you. You know what I mean? Those that are nice and sweet.
We pull for everybody who's nice and sweet.
Well,
yes.
yeah, but I'm just saying,
yes,
since
because
you
it's an
mentioned it.
amputee
Yeah.
story,
Listen, on the trip, right? The trip we just went on, my friend Robbie's brother,
amazing
Jack.
vacation.
My brother's friend Jack was telling me about a friend he had in college who had no arms, and she could do everything with her feet.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable. Like even in the cafeteria line, move the tray down, grab. I mean, just unbelievable. Yeah. Anyway.
You can learn, obviously, to overcome a lot. And we've seen the story with the surfer who lost her arm. And since then, she has, I think, 3 or 4 children at this point in time.
Right. Bethany.
Bethany Hamilton.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And she's written books about, or at least one book about how, she had to relearn a lot of different things. But it's unbelievable. And she still surfs.
15-foot tiger shark taking her arm off. I would never go back. I would no, I'm not going to, I'm not getting in the bathtub. I'm not going in the swimming pool. I'm not going, I'll take a shower.
I think you're safe in the bathtub.
You never know.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're safe there. Hopefully Frank and Hayes are safe at the farm in Okefenokee. Let's say hello to them now.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hey, slightly better weather day than we had on Tuesday at the ballpark.
It is spectacular. Gorgeous day. Couldn't have picked a better day to be out here at the farm at Okefenokee here in Folkston, Georgia. And our friends here are just so wonderful and gracious and hospitable for us, which we certainly appreciate. And Frank and I just got done with a tour with about 15 other patrons out here, and we had a wonderful time. And, certainly excited to, bring our listeners a slice of what this unique property is all about. Again, it's a regenerative farm. It's 1,000 acres with these just gorgeous cabins. Doug Davis, the founder, walked us through a couple of the cabins that they just finished, and it's really fun. So we're looking forward to being out here for today's Frangie Show. Doug Davis is going to join us at about 4:15, 4:20 to tell us the story about the farm at Okefenokee. That'll be a lot of fun. And Lee Smith will join us at 5, Executive Director of the Players Championship, to give us his thoughts on the golf season. They're in Houston today, and obviously a couple weeks away from heading to Augusta National.
That's right. Hayes, will you watch the college basketball tonight?
Oh, yeah. I'm not like – Florida just won the national title. Like, it stung to lose, but it didn't take – I mean, like, I'm totally, like, beyond that they played awful and lost. I mean, I'm disappointed, but, yeah, I mean, I'll still – I'll still watch the games. I'm still curious to see, how the season wraps up. And there's so many great matchups. That Arkansas-Arizona game tonight is going to be phenomenal at 9:45, and Illinois-Houston at 10:05. I'm not as excited about the first two. I think Purdue handles Texas pretty easily, and there is a part of me that would be tough to watch Iowa-Nebraska because the whole time I'm going to be thinking about how Florida would have looked. But the two games at night, I will be absolutely really excited to see how those games go.
And Boogie Fland and Urban Klavjar returning next year. Excited about it?
I would have been fine if they had moved on from Fland. But, I get that. I'm sure Golden is believing that the three-point shooting can come back to where it was his freshman year at Arkansas. And he does offer a lot of high-level qualities. Urban, that's sensational that he's coming back, because obviously we know what a great three-point shooter he can be. And I thought really evolved his game a little bit, became a better driver to the basket. Is still a defensive liability. Maybe that's something that, he can work on this offseason. But, yeah, I think it's a good start. And what I'm really waiting for is the Thomas Houck I'm coming back Tim Tebow announcement. So I don't know whether that'll be April 11th at the spring game. Maybe roll the basketball team out halftime of the spring game and let Houck and Condon and Chinlu, shout to the heavens that they're coming back. But I can always dream, right?
That you can. All right. Thanks so much. We'll be listening. Enjoy dinner tonight.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. There they go. The farm at Okefenokee going to be a fantastic time this evening.
$5 million each. Get it done.
Yeah.
For those three players.
For those guys, yeah.
They'll come back for $5 million.
Are you chipping in?
No.
At the spring game last year, Tom,
basketball.
they awarded the players with their rings at halftime, and it was awesome. And because the spring games aren't televised, it was another reason that we wanted to go.
Yeah.
This year, we won't have that at the spring game.
You won't, but that'd be great if those three guys said we're back.
Sure would be.
Huge.
You got that right. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Tom McManus, for the vacationing Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show next, live from the farm at Okefenokee, is next.
Walk all over you.